Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace to everybody. This is brought to you by the 5000 Elite. Solutions is what we're made of. We came a long way. We have a lot of solutions, and we got a long road ahead of us. We're not in it to win, we're in it for independence. It's going to get better. So definitely take advantage of 5000elite.com and let's finish kicking out some of these solutions. We're going in. How everybody doing today? This your guy Ty Data. I'm gonna be hosting. There's some things going on with the live stream, as you guys notice. Um, but it's okay. It's okay. We also simulcasting, so we got Nighthawk over there, kind of alone over there on Chief Holiday channel, and over here in Tribe Up. We kind of deep in Tribe Up. We got Gretchen in the building. We got Reginald Green, Don Miko, and we also had Joseph Scott in the building. Um, I noticed I haven't been getting no notifications from Chief Holiday channel, and so I don't believe anybody got any notifications from their channel as well. But it's okay. The knowledge is going to get out. Today we're going to go into another place, into another realm where a lot of people can't go. We're going to be going into where do metaphysical meets the physical. We're going to be going into a little bit of that today. And we're also going to be breaking down the single cell organism. Shout out to the Juggernaut. Shout out to the people in the chat. We had a very long, nice, fun discussion last night. And the single cell organism came up. I had to take my guy Lex Vortex to his max. And his max was the single cell organism. So I told him that I'd take him further than the single cell organism. It's actually pretty simple to me. And I don't know, you'll get to see for yourself. So we're also going to talk about that as well. So this is brought to you by 5000 Elite, you guys. Another 5000 Elite production. Thanks everybody. We also got some presentations and some things coming up, and so we're very thankful for that. If you haven't joined the 5000 Elite already, then take advantage of the description box. Get yourself and join the 5000 Elite because solutions is what we're made of, and we're going to keep doing it. Also understand that we also have a 30-day live stream coming up. We're going to be testing the network, testing the equipment for 30 days. So it's going to be 30 days non-stop. Pretty cool. Now, where should I start? Where should we start? Where should we start? I'm going to start based on what I got set up. Okay. Now, dealing with the monkey theory and the monkey people, how about we start there first? How about we start with the single cell organism, dealing with the monkey theory and the monkey people. Now, you notice when you dealing with the people from the monkey theory, you notice they always start with an ape. They always start where they want to start at. And this is a very big flaw in their presentation and in their information because they don't understand law. And we're definitely going to get into law. Also, we have to understand that when you're dealing with possibilities and you're dealing with probabilities, you also have to take notes of the amount of attention that they give. Now, you have to understand that when it comes to this out of Africa theory, there's been millions and millions and billions of dollars poured into this. When it comes to over here in America, there's been a subtle amount of money poured in over here. Now, I know this might sound a little funny to a lot of people, and this might sound a little weird, but it does it does hold a significant amount of weight. Because if you was to spend as much money and as much attention that they did on the outer Africa theory, if they spent that same amount of money and attention on the out of America theory, the the results will be very different. Now, what we're up against when we're dealing with some of these monkey people and dealing with some of these academiaites, we're up against something called classism. It's basically nothing but knowledge classism. They're basically saying that we have more money than you, we have, more information than you, so therefore we balling and you're not. We have uh the Royal Society, shout out to Black Lotus. We have eugenics, we have Darwin, and we have all these scholars, and we have all these people, and we have all these societies. We have Egyptology, and we have all this. And what do you guys have? You guys have Google, Ruth Shady, and a couple books. So they're basically playing classism. And they're saying, well, we got all the money and you guys are broke. So therefore, we are right and you guys are wrong. Now, in the social political environment, this holds a lot of weight. And even maybe in the courtroom or whatever little uh thing that involves the actual human or human, biased humans or whatever, it holds a lot of weight. But in science, it doesn't work that way. So just because they spend billions and billions and billions of dollars to make sure this out of Africa story sticks, that does not make it true. Or that does not make it any significance of a boy who had a dream last night of a new theory. In science, it really doesn't matter that much. You understand? Because a possibility against a possibility, it all boils down to, well, how much resources have you put in your possibility? So you mean to tell me you guys put millions and millions and millions of dollars in you guys' theory? Yes, they did. So when it comes to the out of America theory and it comes to over here in America, you guys have a limited amount of resources pumped over here. So as you can see, as a person who probably, used to being taught by the media, used to being taught by, being taught by the system in such a way that you cannot even, go against it or think outside of it, that might persuade or sway your belief. So I want you to understand with what I'm saying. And I'm going to try to break it down for you. Now, if people are over here saying, hey, check out America, look at us, look what we got, look what we're doing, just check it out. And on the other hand, you got a group of people saying, well, shit, we got all the money, bro. We got all the evidence. We got Egyptology. What y'all got? Y'all ain't got no omactology, bro. Y'all ain't got no Mayantology. Y'all ain't got nothing on us. Look at our pyramids. Our pyramids are smooth to the touch, and the one brick weighs like 7,000 pounds. Look what we got, bro. And now it becomes a flossing match. So this is where they like to take science out of it, and they like to get social political and put funds behind it and say, well, shit, we make the most money. Now, what would happen if all that money was poured in over here in America, and just a limited amount was poured in over there in Africa? Do you think things would be a little bit different? Do you think the outcome will be a little bit different? Or do you think it will be the same results? Chances are it'd be a little whole lot different, because the more money you pour into it, the more evidence and the more information and the more data you're bound to collect. And the more data you collect, it holds weight on your argument in court, or wherever you want to call it. But in the scientific world of possibilities and probability, that shit don't mean shit. Your theory is no gooder than mine in probability. Now, say for example, you have two twins. Let's say two twin kids, right? One kid grew up sport as hell. He got all the Jordans. He got all the bikes. Uh, he had all the fresh haircuts, all the fresh video games. He also, you know, their mother paid for his college and even co-signed for his first car. The other kid didn't get that. He got money here and there, and his life was a little bit harder. He got into drugs and gangs and the street life. While on the other hand, the other kid became a highly successful doctor due to the amount of money that was poured and attention that was poured into him. The other guy just can be any one of us, and maybe even worse. So one day the mother calls both of them over. The doctor show up, brand new drop top Corvette, whipped out, all done up. He get out the car, go see the mother. The other brother get a ride over there, get dropped off by one of his baby mamas or some shit. Come in the house smelling like weed and cigarettes. The mother look at both of them, and she look at the brother the son that she poured a lot of money into. And she said, I am proud of you, son. I always knew that you'll be somebody. And she looked over at the other brother, who she really gave two shits about. And she said, you're a weirdo. You're an extremist. You failed me and you disappoint me. So this kind of makes the young man feel some type of way. And he began to snap off. And he just straight snapped. He just straight snapped. He said, look, bitch, you done put all that fucking money in him. You gave him all the nice cars. You gave him all the bikes. He wearing Jordans. When I'm over here, you buy me clothes from the Goodwill. You done pay for his college. You done co-sign for him 2-3 cars. One of them he racked. And then you gonna come up here with this bullshit. You coming up here spitting this, shit, he gonna snap off. And it's the same thing. Y'all coming over here spitting this out of Africa bullshit. He straight snapped off. He said, fuck you, fuck him, and fuck whatever else they got going on. And this is what's going on. They done spent all that money over there. All them scientists and all that shit that's going on over there. And they treat America like the stepchild and shit. And then they want to come and try to measure. Now, in the political world, you have makes a lot of sense and it holds a lot of weight. But it's just so happened we're dealing with science. And when we're dealing with science, I'm about to break this shit down so cold and so clear for you guys. Like for real, for real, for real. And this is what we're up against. We're up against this academiacs who spent a lot of money for their education. And they feel that because money get poured into their theories, money got poured into their research, they feel that they basically feel that, hey, we win by default because we got more evidence, or we got this, or we got that. And that ain't even true. Now, in the science world, it doesn't work like that. In the science world, if you have a probability and I have a probability, they're both probabilities. If you go out and spend $1 zillion on your probability and come back with a whole bunch of information, and I went out, I spent $35 on my probability. Now, to a human being, this could sway a human being. It can actually sway a culture. It can actually sway a courtroom. But what it won't sway is the actual truth and the actual real scientists. Now, those of you who are glorified by little tit for tat facts that support your argument, keep in mind, a theory is a theory is a theory. Now, if you want to spend the same amount of money and amount of much tension as you do over there in the outer Africa theory, and spend more of that in maybe an Asian theory or maybe American theory, now we starting to equal out the playing fields, and now more and more evidence start popping up, more and more things start getting revealed, more and more things, you know what I'm saying, more and more things starting to change, and now you're on an equal playing field. We have to understand these motherfuckers is playing a lopsided ass game, and don't be scared and don't be offended by these motherfuckers, by these motherfuckers coming over here with motherfuckers, well, they don't really come over here, but motherfuckers making little videos, you know what I'm saying? These dudes making these little videos and these women making these little videos and shit, you know what I'm saying, with this academia ass shit, as if for shit. Well, shit, we got more. We got billions of dollars behind our argument. So therefore it's real. To an idiot and to a regular person and maybe to a courtroom, you know what? You might be right. But to a real science, in real science, you kicking out a theory, bro. Slow the fuck down. Now, let's break some of this shit down. Now, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Let's just start with what these guys will call the ape, right? These guys put a lot of their emphasis on this ape creature. And so the stream might get a little glitchy, you guys. I got kind of a lot of shit going on. But hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Can you hear me? Let me see. Let me make sure you guys can hear me okay. Okay, yeah. So they put a lot of emphasis on this ape creature. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you something. Not actually teach you, but we're gonna talk about law. Okay. Now, this is how you can smell anybody's bullshit, and this is how you can smell their bullshit. Because the world is ran on something called laws. Laws break down to a couple of different scenarios. First thing you have to say when you go to a law, you have to say, well, who enforces the law? So you have to have a law enforcer. Okay? Also, you have to have a chain of command. Okay, when you're dealing with law, you have to have a chain of command. Now, this is how you can smell they bullshit, and this is how you can use simple math, simple understanding of law, and you can understand any one of these dudes' bullshit, including me, right out the gate by understanding law. So as you can see, I have this corporate type letter. And as you can see, there's a chain of command. Most people will place God at the top and say he's at the top and he's at the chain of command and he's the ultimate. Some people place Buddha and all these different types of religions. They place certain people at the top. Now everything works in a chain of command, but guess what? It needs to be governed. Something needs to govern to carry out these chains of commands. Now, when it comes to this out of Africa theory, notice where they start at. This is very important. Or where they start at. Hold on. You notice they start with the ape. Now, where you start at, it shows a lot of what you know. Because you're starting at a point that fits your narrative. You starting at a point where you can't go no higher or no go too much above. So it's already indicating that you don't know what the hell you're talking about because where you're starting at. If you's gonna, you know what I'm saying, where you're starting at depends. And it supports your argument. Now, many of these guys they start with an 8. But if you look at the chain of command, you would know a monkey will come first. So you can't have an 8 without a monkey. But they don't want to start with the monkey. They want to start with an ape. So you just broke protocol, bro. And you just fucked up the chain of command to fit your narrative. Now, I don't talk to a couple of these people, and I don't went way back. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, we went back to a single cell organism. So I was able to take the brother to his limits to a single cell organism. Single cell organism is a chain. It represents a chain of command, but that's something very simple to answer. But we're gonna play with this a little bit, and we're gonna go on a commercial break. And we're gonna come back. We're gonna break that shit down. But right now, I'm finna get more in. Now, you notice they start at the bottom. Okay, they start at the gorilla, right? The ape. Now, starting at the ape is equivalent to walking into a company and asking, walking into McDonald's and asking the cashier, "Hey, how much do you guys rent this place for?" Shit, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? They don't know. They just work there. So you have a chain of command. You have your CEO, you have your CFO, you have your general managers, you have your managers, you have your floor managers, and different things like that. And even if you want to go to the military, they got their ranking. Even if you want to go to the government, they got their ranking. Everything has a order to it. And this is one thing about 5,000 Lead I'm trying to get people to understand as well. It has to have it has an order to it. That's basically how life works. And they don't have to be the same exact order as this, but we have to be able to work together. And so when these guys start from the 8, they skip the monkey. You just skip the monkey. You just skipped everything. They don't even talk about the metaphysical. This is where I come in at. Well, all these scholars fail at. All these scholars fall off. There's a couple of us that's still standing and that can go farther. Now, can you have a monkey? Can you have an 8 without a monkey? Or can you have a monkey without an 8? Which one predates which one? Now, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, when it comes to the monkey will be a little bit older. So then the monkey would be another chain of command because you can't have it predates the 8. So we'll move up a little bit. So then we say, well, what predates the monkey? They don't really know. They don't really know what the hell they talking about. Okay, well, if you can't break down the law, if you can't break down the law of what the fuck you saying, then why are you saying it? But guess what? If we go all the way to a single cell organism, shout out to the brother, but we finna actually learn something today. If my shit don't cut off, we're gonna learn something today. So we're gonna travel up to the single cell organism. So that means we're gonna have to move up a little bit. So we go to the single cell organism. Are you going? What's going on? Okay, here we go. Damn. Oh man, I got a lot of shit going on, y'all. Sorry about that. But okay, apparently it's not moving up. Now, we're starting with the single cell organism, right? Now, what predates the single cell organism? This is where it gets fun at you guys. What predates that? This is not that difficult, but I'm gonna stretch it out as much as I can. But we're gonna go on this quick commercial break real quick, and then we're gonna be back, and then we're gonna talk about what predates the chain of command. Very simple. Be right back. Welcome. This is brought to you by the 5,000 Elite. Solutions is what we're made of. We have a lot of things going on, a lot of things ahead of us, but we out here. Please take advantage of the description box and join the 5,000 Elite, 5000elite.com. Let's go. Okay. Now, now, when we're dealing with the single cell organism, and we're going to check out the chain of command. The reason why we understand the chain of command because it represents law. Now, understanding law, like I said before, there's two things you need to understand that's inside law. There's something that needs to There's a chain of command inside law, and also there is something to enforce the law. So you're dealing with two different things. Now those of you who who scientists, and those of you who have certain type of capacities or whatever, you might understand what I'm talking about when I say the word law. You might already know, okay, he's talking about a chain of command, and he's talking about what governs it. So you can simply just answer the question. You could just simply just hold on one second. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Testing, 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 testing. You guys here. I'm almost done. Here we go. Bad little kids. Now, here we go. Now, when you're dealing with the chain of command, you could just simply answer that question about what is a single cell made of. It's very simple. It's not that difficult. Just to see what is a single cell made of. Now, as you can see, I have a fire there. Now, the reason why I have a fire, because I'm going to break this down real quick, and so you can understand what I'm saying very logical. Now, when you're looking at a fire, you're looking at one of the oldest things that we ever come contact with. This will be older than water. Fire, it predates water. Now, what governs fire? And what is the chain of command inside fire? Now, I know we can probably Google that and find out what's inside fire in the chain of command that's inside fire. But what governs fire? Fire never gets outside of its personality. It's almost like it's computer generated. It never go outside of character. It's always in character, but it's older. It's the oldest thing that we ever come in contact with. There's nothing older. There's no rocks or anything like that older than fire. When it comes to water, water is a new kid on the block compared to fire. But when you look at fire and you look at water, you get to see they're kind of opposite. And it seems like one kind of governs the other, who governs the other. But keep in mind, who is the oldest? Fire is older. So when water, so when, so fire, what is fire? Fire is just chemicals, gases, different types of chemicals and different type of gases. A chemical ain't nothing but a gas in the chemical form. So if you're gonna go beyond the single cell organism, you're gonna have to go into the realm of gases and chemicals. So if you just observe fire, and you can be able to understand fire because it's the oldest thing that we ever come in contact with. First thing you have to say is what governs it. And then you have to say what is the chain of command. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to understand. There we go. Fuel, oxygen, and reaction. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We ain't gotta go there. We ain't gotta break it down. Break it down because we know everybody can just kind of Google what's inside fire, and whatever's inside fire predates organisms, predates water. You can't have, you know what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying, it's very simple. But in order to understand this, you have to understand the chain of command first. That's why you in a chain of command, you can't have the kid for the parent. If you understand what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying organisms come from fire. I'm using fire as an example to understand organisms. So I'm just using it to understand. Now, so you ask yourself, what governs fire? What chain of command is over fire? Because something governs fire, and there's a chain of command fire. So fire is made up of different type of gases. So then when you look at these gases, then you got to go inside these gases and you have to imply law in these gases. So then you go in these gases and sometimes you can separate them. Sometimes you can pick some of them out. And sometimes you just can't. We just really don't know. So whatever we can pick out, whether it's oxygen, nitrogen, whatever little gases we can actually detect and pick out, whatever gases we do know, there's hundreds and thousands of gases that we don't. So this is why it's very hard when you're dealing with science to be 100% and exact and excise. You're always dealing with possibilities and probabilities because our brain can only go our limits can only go so far. So although we can detect, oh, this, and this makes fire, but when it's time to break that down and say, okay, well, oxygen, well, what's inside oxygen and what's the chain of command inside oxygen? So we might find, let's say we might find some trazoid or we might find some trainite. Now, what's inside of trainite and what governs trainite and what's the chain of command in trainite? So then we're going to find such and such and such and such and such and such. So then we have to go inside such and such, and we have to say, well, we have to apply law to that, and we have to say what governs that, and what governs that, and what's the chain of command in that. So it will be a non-ending process. So this is why when you're dealing with science, majority of the time, you're dealing with probability. Now, just because you spend a lot of money on out of Africa doesn't make it real. Your probability is still a probability. Now, when we look at water, we understand water is pretty old. But what is water? Anybody understand water is fire? Fire is water. Really? How can that be? Can water be fire in a different form? Can fire be water in a different form? Now, when you're dealing with chemicals and when you're dealing with gases, that is that's true. Fire is a gas, and fire is a chemical. And what water stimulates from, where water comes from, what creates water? Chemicals. So when you look at the chain of command inside water, what are we looking at? Water consists of, let me see, you got these certain little molecules. These are things we can detect. So keep in mind, for every one thing we can detect, there's hundreds of things we can't. So you always have to understand that. But if we can work it and manipulate it the way we want to, or if we can 100% recreate it, then then sometimes it really don't what the hell matter what's in there. God damn it, we recreated it. Now I don't know if anybody really like recreate water from, you know what I'm saying? I know if you sweat or, you know what I'm saying, you some sweat or some shit like that, but you really, that's one of them things you can't really recreate like that. And then when it comes to fire, you can make a fire. You know what I'm saying? You can make a fire, but you can't create like fire, right? If you understand what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain. It gets real. Right. Let me see. Let's see. Fuel, hydrogen, oxygen. Okay, there we go. Now that's pretty. Ain't this the same shit that's in fire? That's pretty much the same shit, give or take. Give or take some molecules and give and take. But see, fire, but water is physical though. You're dealing with well, fire is physical, but water is more cell type thing. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with them cells and shit like that, I forgot what they call them, but water is you can touch it and kind of like drink it, if you understand what I mean. Now, if you want to drink some fire, I don't know how that work, but you can drink some hot ass stew or some shit if you want to, or some shit like that. So, is it possible to drink fire? I have to say, yeah. If you can keep the fire going, it'll go all the way down and burn your shit up. If you can keep it, if you can keep the same thing, you know what I'm saying? If you can keep it, so that's another probability right there. It's probably not going to happen due to the government, due to the laws, because the laws say inside fire it says, well, you need this and you need that working together. If these two ain't working together simultaneously on a certain little method, then your fire is gonna die. That's called governance. Now, who enforces that? So, although a lot of us say different type of molecules, now I know a lot of us say, well, God governs everything and God is everything. You know what I'm saying? So God, everybody put God at the head and chain of command. But in science, what you got to do is you got to put everything. There's certain things in the chain of command. For example, when you jump up, there's something we call gravity that says that tell you need to go down. So gravity is the enforcer. It says, hey, bro, if you jump up around here, bro, I'm pushing you down. Now, what chain of command is over gravity? Let's say what happened if gravity don't do its job one day. Who's gonna come down here and check the shit out of gravity and fire his ass, or say, bro, you need to get your shit on tap? So there's another chain that's over gravity. And chances are, if you can find it and look inside of it, you can probably break that down and whatever you want to do. But it gets real nerdy, you guys. Really, really nerdy. But it gets real interesting. Now, see, understanding cells or the single cell organism, one must turn to chemicals. One must turn to gases. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make this really quick because I got something I gotta do. Now, when you're dealing with gases come in different forms. Water can be considered a gas. Fire could be considered a gas or a chemical, whichever one. But then when you freeze water, it gets hard. But then when you burn water, what it do? Or when you kill water, or when you boil water for a certain amount of time, what does it do? It turns into a what? A gas. Now, when it comes to the human being or any living organism, when it dies, what does it do? It turns into gas. I know a lot of people say ashes, ashes, dust, dust. Yeah, that do count when you're dealing with certain stuff. But what you think that smell is when you find a dead rat or something, a dead dog? What's that smell you think's going on? That smell is the body's turning into gas, bro. That's what that smell is. If you can give me something, if you can give me a creature that dies and don't smell like nothing, I'll be like, okay, you got a deal. But that's the body turning into gas. So even water turns back into gas. You understand? So that predates a single cell organism. That predates that. And all you need to know to understand that, you need to know the laws and the chain of command. The chain of command will let you know that something is above that. That's it. You can go all the way, all the way, all the way up to blank space, but just by simply using the chain of command, just by simply using the laws. The law. The chain of command, what's the authority? And what's the enforcer? If you can figure that out, you can figure out anything in the world. So, when you're dealing with these so-called gases, okay, that's going to put you, let's just say these gases come together and they create what we may call a single cell organism. They're nothing when you look inside a single cell organism, not saying I did before, and you just ask yourself, I wonder what is it made of, and what is it what laws applies? What is it governed by, and what is this chain of command? Well, obviously the chain of command, obviously chemicals is going to be is going to be the chemicals or gas is going to be the authority figure. But what's governing it? Then you have to answer that. What's governing these? What put them in place? There's other different types of gases. I can't name everything. Gravity's a myth. Well, whatever that whatever the things that whatever is called to make when you jump up, whatever's pushing you down, whatever you call that, that's what I mean by gravity. Like I don't know the special name, I don't know a scientific name for it, but whatever I call it gravity. But whatever that is, that's governed by something and that has a chain of command. That's there due to something else there making it be that. Something else is saying, bro, you gonna do your job. And something else is above of that thing saying you're gonna do your job. And something else is above that thing saying you're gonna do your job. So it's a chain of command that we are governed by. And what these guys are doing is these guys are breaking the chain of command with a motherfucking ape. They done bypass the monkey, bypass the metaphysics, bypass the chemicals, bypass the gas, and just went straight to a fucking ape. Not with data around here, you not. Now, so one have to, so one can understand that a single cell organism is basically, the chain of command of the law basically says that, what predates that is gases and chemicals predates and also governs by. So now when you have a single cell organism, you have what we called life, right? Now this is where it's get good at, and this is where I kind of go at too. Military bearings. You know what I'm saying? Now when you're dealing with life, so the single cell organisms create life. This is according to their theory and what you're trying to say. Now, basically, it created life, and then some kind of way it morphed its way into a monkey, and it's morphed its way to a ape, and it morphed its way into us. But this is where it gets very weird at, and this is where science come in at, you guys. And this is where I gotta say a lot of things that I don't know or I can't say, because the probability and my little personal little theories does not does not work here, because it's just my little private or my little theory. It doesn't hold no real weight, because a theory is a theory is a theory is a theory is a goddamn theory, whether I got $1 million behind it or whether it's just some shit I think on a toilet stool when I'm shit. It's still a theory. Okay. Now, So when you come with this, now this is one thing a lot of people don't understand is that the environment, let's just say the rainforest, you guys, in Congo and the rainforest in South America, it's alive. It is a animal with it in itself. And what I mean by an animal, I mean it breathes, it communicates, okay, and it communicate. Now I don't know if it feels or not. I can't, like I say, this is the part where I tell you a lot of shit that I don't know. I don't know if it feels. That's up to you to determine. I don't know if a tree be like, damn, my leg broke and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's living and it's breathing and it's communicating. Now, to me personally, that is enough for me to call that shit my brother. If you fucking if you fucking hear that damn long and you're living, breathing, and communicating, god damn, you're shit. The rainforest is my great uncle, nigga. I mean, like, damn, that's enough for me to call your family member. I can give you a name and call you a buddy. Damn near. But see, they missed that chain of command. They missed that part. This is a big part of the chain of the command that they're missing. They never, ever, ever throw this in there. You can't have a monkey. You can't have a monkey without the environment. You see what I'm saying? And this is their own theory. This is by their own theory. What they believe. This is their shit. They're breaking the chain of command. So before you get to a single cell, you gotta have a proper environment first. So you got the environment over there in Africa, and you have the environment over here in America. Same environment. Pretty much same environment. So, but what they're saying is that, well, you gotta check out the video. If you gotta check out the different videos. Okay, we are in the media. We are getting our own television station. So we don't have enough people to sit here and talk about business 24 hours a day. And so what we're doing is we're trying to have a we're it's a social political thing that we're going up against. But if you wanna know more about business and things like that, you can hit me up. And there's a lot of people. You know what I mean? But you yourself should have your own thing that you want to do and contribute. And this is one of my things that I'm doing and I'm contributing. So I am not the leader here. I am no authority here. So I can't really tell you what you can and can't do, or I can't really tell you what's about to happen or things like that. All I can do is help in my own way and what I can. I don't get paid for this. This is this is free. This is electricity, this is energy, this is money. And it's free. And it's all good. But you'll understand later why all this makes sense to you. Because this goes back into the land as well. But you gotta hang tight. I'll connect it for you. So like I said, when you're dealing with the environment, okay, you better off just saying, hey, well, shit, the monkey just sprung up and then the monkey came to an ape. But it sprung up in a certain type of environment. Because remember, they say that the environment is what made the monkey intelligent. This is their argument. But they don't emphasize that the environment is living, breathing, and communicating as well. So it is a animal of its own. So the rainforest is one big ass animal. Now this is where you make the connection. Now, as I said, that we are a bunch of gases. Okay, we are a bunch of gases. That's why when we die, we smell. That's us going back to the gas. Now, what they're trying to say is that Africa is the only place that literally passed gas. So basically, what they're trying to say is basically we're a fart. So although you got the same rainforest, living, breathing, communicating, only Africa you can pass. Only gas get passed over there in Africa. You can only pass gas in Africa. Africa is the only part of the planet that farts. There's pretty much what they're trying to say. You see how that conflicts with each other because that don't really make no sense. If you have a living breathing or if you have a living breathing communicating organism in Africa that passes gas, and you have a living breathing organism that and communicate over here in America that passes gas, then saying, well, humans only involved over here in Africa, and the gases and all the chain of command and all the laws that's put in place, it only works here. Everything that created us and everything we come from, it only works on this side. And on that other side, they're knockoffs. They're not real. Now, when you understand in science, you know that's a flock of shit. You can't recreate that. You can't. Yeah, that's not real. So that's kind of what they're trying to say. They basically saying that our land our land is better than your land. Our land over here, produces humans, and this land over here don't. But when they look at the actual evidence of what they say the human come from, which is a single cell organism, that's where they say we came from. They That's where they say we came from. So then that means you have a living organism over here and you have a living organism over there. So how is it that the one over there is able to go to the human and the one over here can't? That's a good question you might want to. That's a good question you might want to ask some of your buddies, because I don't know what the hell they're gonna say. I don't really rock that shit. I don't believe in none of that shit. But let's go on. But where it gets kind of weird at is that now you have to ask yourself, where do the metaphysical and the physical meet? Because when you're dealing with a living, breathing, communicating organism, we don't really know how the metaphysical governs them. We don't really know how they communicate with the metaphysical. So it's very difficult to try to even, come to a 100% proper conclusion. Now I have my own theories and I have my own reasoning, but that belongs to me. They're mine. They're not for people to go around believing and shit. And then they're just mine. Now, when you're dealing with the metaphysical is who you are. Your body will be your vessel. So you are you. You are your mind, not your body. So we know we have metaphysical properties, and we know we go into our minds. So we know we're governed by both. So we're governed by the metaphysical and the physical. But where do the metaphysical and physical meet together at? It's obviously they met somewhere and they kicked it somewhere if they collaborated and made us. Because we are both and we're governed by both. When I jump up in the air, my physical body says where you're going to hit the ground. When I stretch my arms out, my physical body says, well, this is your limit. This is your ring span. You can't stretch any farther than this. When I'm running, my physical body say, this is the fastest you got, bro. This is all you got. But my mind is telling me, Bro, man, you don't even have to run, bro. We can just snap your finger and just think. You know what I'm saying? So your mind's telling you something way different. Your mind is arrogant as hell, and it's just telling you can do anything. Man, we can do anything, and blah 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 blah. We got computers, we got cell phones, we got a whole bunch of shit. So you are governed by physical and metaphysical. Now, what is the chain of command when you're dealing with physical or metaphysical? Now, we do both know that you can't have physical. You can't have physical without metaphysical. So metaphysical would predate physical. Metaphysical would be have the authority. So where do they meet? That's the question. Anybody? Anybody care? Anybody care to answer that question? Where does the metaphysical and the physical meet together? Comes by F frequency. I'm not sure. Feelings? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anybody? Anybody care to answer that? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. This is some real shit. This is some real stuff that we're talking about. Too bad I can't break down every single chemical and every single word and every single thing. And so this goes along, and this also goes along in our struggle as well. So what I'm going to tell you for right now is that the physical and the metaphysical meet in you. That's where it meets at. It collaborated in you. It got together in you. Lolita Star, you are where physical and metaphysical meets. Especially the women. Especially you. Now I don't want to get in no pissing contest about who came first and who came what, but I'm putting the women out there and I'm saying it meets in you. Now whether I'm wrong or right is relevant. All of because I'm a man too, so obviously it met in me too. But for some reason I can't help but to give the woman the credit. Maybe because I'm a weirdo or whatever. The metaphysics and physical meets in our women. That's my view. If you want to say it's equal, you go right ahead. But from my understanding, it meets in her. And how does that work? I have to get the gas in, bro. It's my own theory. It's just a probability. My probability is no more important than yours. And we can argue all day who's better. But at the end of the day, a probability is a probability. So in the woman is where the metaphysics and the physics meet. So if they meet in her, they also meet in me as well. So they also meet in me as well. Now, how does that work and what's the chain of command? How does the laws work? Who's governing her? Who's over her? Who's governing me and who's over me? That's when it gets real tricky because we have each other. You see? You see how the laws work? I govern her. I'm over her. But wait a minute. She's my mother. She's governing me. She's over me. It's kind of real tricky, you guys. It gets really tricky. So you have to be able to, you know, play with it a little bit. There's no 100% proof, but I can tell you one thing. She ain't come from no goddamn monkey. I can tell you that. If the physical and the metaphysical met in the monkey, good luck. Good good luck explaining that one. Now, that's my theory. That's my analogy. It's a theory. It's not 100% true. I couldn't tell you how to back it up. Hell, I don't even know where I got it from. But I got it from somewhere. Somebody somewhere in the ether gave me this idea, get this information. I didn't read it in the book, I can tell you that. And I didn't hear it on the internet. I can tell you that too. But when a lot of these people portray themselves of authority, you have to be able to understand in what fashions they're coming from. They're coming from, we have more money than you, so therefore we are right and we are correct. And I'm going to go back to my beginning statement that what would happen if they spent the equal amount of money and the equal amount of resources in America studying the Olmecs and studying the Mayas and all types of different societies and, Mayantology and, you know, uh, Guatemalantology and pyramid and all this stuff. I wonder what would the outcome be? Hmm. It Anybody? I know everybody gonna say it will be over here. So when you're understanding people of academia, understanding where they come from, they're playing classism games. They're basically saying we're richer than you. So shut your ass up and fall the fucking line. Don't nobody want to hear you're an Indian. Don't nobody want to acknowledge Naya and Luzia. Don't nobody want to acknowledge that. You know why? Cause you're poor, nigger. That's what our own people is telling us deep down inside. Maybe not that explicit, but that's what they're betraying. Don't nobody want to hear your analogies. Don't nobody want to hear your possibilities. You're poor. Be poor. Try to find some way to be happy and shut the fuck up and let the rich people tell you where the fuck you come from. Is I'm the only person that feels this way? I don't know. Maybe I'm a weird bastard. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And if you can, rewatch the video. Shout out to the women out there. Because you are what physics, metaphysics, and what physical meet. And don't forget, I am too. And the law applies to us. So something's governs you, and something's in a higher chain of command of you. And me also. Something governs me. And something's also in a chain of command me. So this also goes with both of us together, the chain of command. We walk together. You govern me, I govern you. That's the chain of command I was talking about in the beginning. I don't know what I did with the that goes all the way back. Let me see if I can find that poster that go all the way back to the chain of command. Now I have nothing to back that up. That just sound pretty good. So I actually just threw that shit in there. To be honest with you, that was, what I'm saying. But me governing you and you govern you, being part of the chain of command. Remember the chain of command. Remember law. Always remember law. Law is always going to be where you find some of your answers and where you find some of your information. The chain of command. What governs it And what keeps it in line? What is the authority of it? So when you deal with a man and a woman, it is very easy to say we both. Yeah, we both. So then when some people say, well, we are equal, they have a little point there. They have a point. But when some people say, well, the woman, okay, that's more societal thing. And that's also, there's some, I don't want to go down that road because, I'm old fashioned and, people these days thinks different, but you have to give it up. You have to give it up. Whether it's cultural, whether it's a guilt trip or whatever the hell it is, you have to give it up. But this is not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about how does this equate and with us getting our land and us getting information and us moving forward. Us moving forward also has to work in the same way. It don't have to like 100% because this ain't nothing but a theory at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? When you really want to be honest with it. But we need mechanisms put in place to keep everybody ass in check. Like law. There cannot be no one motherfucker that stands above all. If you understand what I'm saying. Everybody needs an equal opportunity. So whether you got a high degree and you just starting working with us, or brother, bro, you gotta go through the chain, bro. You ain't finna get bumped the fuck up just because you got a high degree. This what a lot of people do. This was a lot of jobs do as well, and yet they should. But in the beginning, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that. But it has to be everybody needs to get that chain. Like the brother D Rare was dropping yesterday. He said, "Man, fuck all this Indian shit, bro." He said, "Man, I'm getting the construction. I'm gonna build buildings, bro. Demolition, fucking shit like that." You see what I'm saying? So he will be working side with a architect. An architect will be working with you know, the finance department or some shit. The finance department be working with the such and such and the such and such. Everybody is all part of the process. And the hardest part for us to get over is us working together. That's the hardest part. A bunch of black people working together? What? Hell no, you funny as hell, bro. We gonna put you on stage with David Chappelle and you're gonna be equal with that bullshit. Like, so people is banking on us. They're banking on us not to be able to work together. They banking on it, y'all. And I know it's gonna be different. And I know it's gonna be hard. But we got this, y'all. We got this. We got this. We got this. Just gotta work together. We've been doing it, we gotta work together. So definitely, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Check us out. Thanks everybody for their support. But don't be fooled, you know what I'm saying, by the monkey shit or the ape shit, because they already done broke the chain to come in and they already done, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes I see a lot of people doing that shit too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Peace to the chat. And if you can, there is some jewels in here. And I hope you can understand this at the way at the capacity we can. But if we gonna do this for real and we gonna go out there and we gonna build, we have to do it together. It can't be no one motherfucking leader and shit and his fucking cronies and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't work. As you can see, I just broke down the laws of motherfucking physics for you. Ain't no one goddamn thing standing alone ever in the world. It's all governed by something that's governed by something that's governed by something that's governed by something that's governed by something that governed. And that's the laws that I stand on. No one, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe in no one man motherfucker. You know? I don't give a shit if that one man ain't me. That's a scam, bro. Even if that one man me, I don't believe in that. We all out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Peace to the chat. Quick commercial break. This has been brought to you by the 5000 Elite. Please take advantage of the description box. Definitely check out the Tribe Up channel. If you're on Tribe Up, check out Chief Holiday channel as well. We're cybercasting today on both channels. I also take advantage of Universal Media Network. It is the last thing we need to get together before we get our show on the road. Also sign up for the 5000 Elite. The 5000, you know what I'm saying? The 5000 Elite is here. And we out here. And solutions is what we made of. You can walk right past them if you want to. You can even act like you don't see them if you want to. But that don't gonna mean they gonna go somewhere. So definitely take advantage of all the people. Well, we have a little presentation coming up. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do that right now, but we have a little presentation coming up pretty soon. And we also have a 30-day test run on our network as well. So definitely take advantage of that. Communication, control, direction, action.